26.5 points per game, 451 points total, 54 touchdowns, 381 first downs. 158 of them first downs is from rushing. 199 of them first downs is from passing. 24 of them first downs is from the referees throwing flags, jagoffs. Third down efficiency for the Bills, 109 of 219 for a grand total of almost 50%. What's that? 49.77. Their fourth down percentage on the season is 9 out of 16. So that's 56, 57%. The Bills passing on the season, 385 completions for 579 pass attempts. Wow. 4,154 yards, 7.4 yards per game, 244.4 per game, and the 7.4 was per play. See, I gotta start taking notes a little bit differently because when I put gain, sometimes when I'm trying to hurry up and take notes, I just read from the pad, even though my brain tells me that there ain't no way those numbers could be interchangeable. But anyway, uh, on fourth down, I don't know, they 56% of the time, they get 9 out of 16. They had 512 runs for 2,212 yards, 4.3 yards per attempt, 130.1 yards per game with 22 touchdowns on offense. 1,115 plays for 6,518 yards, and on an average of 383 yards per game. Wow. That's a lot. But like I said, Josh Allen's a turnover machine. In the last 10 games, I went on ESPN.com. That's crazy. 5 interceptions, 5 touchdowns, 5 fumbles. He lost 3 of them. So basically, if you can control the trenches and you can stay in Josh Allen's face and not let him escape the pocket all the time, like that game where they destroyed us. It's the end of the year, so you know they're tired. Anything's possible. One of the biggest advantages in professional sports, um, I'm going to go ahead and say in an NFL, is positive momentum and attitude together. What I mean by that is after Mitch Trubisky damn near spoiled the entire season and they had to put Rudolph in, the rest of the team started getting pissed. Like Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. Not so much Jalen Warren last week, but Najee's a slop runner. He don't care. He started slamming them, but the last since they put Rudolph in, and honestly before that somewhat, they went ahead and they had the 1-2 punch, and that opened up the play action. Like I was saying during that stretch where we were getting our asses handed to us. I don't know. I said this to a couple of my friends on Messenger and through our group conversations and all that. I said to them, I'm like, they need to run the ball. And if they can't establish a run game, then you can't get no play action. No play action and no run game. That makes you one dimensional. And anybody with a half of a brain could know that if you just tried to run the ball 35 times and you were unsuccessful, then probably going to, if you do run the ball, you're not going to do it. So basically, with Rudolph, they got the running game going, and Rudolph is pretty good. If you look at his recent mechanics, it's insane. It's almost like he went and watched film of some good quarterbacks because his footwork is fantastic. I was shocked. Honestly shocked. He looks a lot better. He stands in the pocket, completes those passes now. He even takes a shot, gets knocked down. He don't care. He get right back up. Which Kenny was pretty good, and he started that Arizona game good. He like he had, in my mind, Kenny Pickett had 3 stages. His first little bit of football for the Steelers, he was throwing interceptions like crazy. Then they got him to stop that, and now he just bails on the pocket. Like he don't let plays develop. He for some reason he stopped going through his motions, and I just don't understand why. I don't know if it's because he got hit one too many times. You know, there's no real telling on what happened and why it happened. I don't know. Something changed there for a while. Even when he did look good, he wasn't pushing the ball down the field. I mean, I, I kind of give a little bit of credit. He played for the team for 2 seasons. He's already endured 7 injuries, 2 of which were concussions, and 1 of which requires surgery. I mean, that could be it. I don't know. But Mason Rudolph standing in that pocket, man, he lets the plays develop. You know, sometimes when you're watching film on Pickett, even if we go back and look at Trubisky, he was getting spooked. Like you would see it like momentarily after they left the pocket, you would see that the play was just about to develop, and if they would have stayed put, then he could have hit a cross route or a deep route or a dig. But I just don't, you know. The Steelers had a good game in that mud. It was horrible to watch. It was like being in the drive-in and pouring down rain with no wipers. I'm sitting on the couch. I got into the habit of driving like I was driving a truck. I'm trying to reach for the wiper switch. And watching a game, I'm reaching for the damn wipers. But the Steelers are going in 10-point underdogs in this wild card round. Nothing's impossible. Nothing is impossible. And I say that because let's not forget, we the one year was '05. We barely got in on a wild card ticket, and they ran the gauntlet. Now this ain't that same roster. This ain't the Hines Ward, Jerome Bettis, Ben Roethlisberger roster. It's not that roster. But hear me out. Positive momentum and angry running and heavy defensive presence could be the difference in winning or losing this game. I'm just saying. If they go back to like when they played this Baltimore game, the plays altered from the previous 2 weeks. If they go back to running that same play, that same playbook as they did in those other 2 games that Rudolph started, you never know what's going to happen. Me, I always cheer for him. It'd be great. You know, it's better than missing the playoffs 100%, and I don't like that. But, you know, everybody count us out. We're the only one in the division that um didn't place in the top 2, but still had double-digit wins. Um, Cincinnati's in the bottom of the barrel. Not surprised. I'm surprised Cleveland. You know, if it wasn't for Trubisky, we'd be right up there. I really think that the 2 games that we lost with Trubisky, 3, um, that really put a hamper in our season because if they would have started Rudolph, we would have at least won 2 of those games. 2 of them. The 2-win teams, we would have beat them. Period. End of story. And I'm an avid believer. You ever see that movie with Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino? Is it called Any Given Sunday? Where they kept getting their asses kicked and they got tired of it. So they stood up and fought their way to the championship. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to happen. What they do need to do is keep the penalties under control. Oh, in the season, they had 86 penalties for 753 yards, an average of 44 yards per game. Holy shit. The Bills finished up 11-6. The Steelers finished up 10-7. So that's not much of a difference. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm still not. I'm shocked. Unbelievable. The Tennessee former Steelers linebacker Mike Vrabel was fired by the Tennessee Titans not long after winning the game and putting the Jacksonville out. He put the Steelers in the playoffs, him and his team, and they got rid of us. Or they got rid of him. Not good. The analysts are saying the Steelers are going to go to Buffalo and get smacked. I don't know. It's going to be cold. So it tells me that I really think that Buffalo is going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to do something different than what they're used to because they know that our defense is hard hitting. So, if they follow that, then I think we'll be okay. I do, honestly. Got ESPN going in the background out of habit. I really haven't been watching it a little bit here and there. I think that I honestly think that Cam Hayward's days are numbered. I'm not saying that Cam Hayward ain't coming back next year, but he's a good player. But he recently said that his body, he could feel it in his body more so than any other year. I think that was on a podcast, but I'm not sure. They're gonna Tomlin's gonna ride the hot hand and go with Mason Rudolph. I don't blame him. They're saying that Tomlin's probably gonna step away after this season. I highly doubt it. And if he does, it'll be on him. I honestly don't think that they're gonna fire him. The Bills, back to what I was saying. The Bills are on a 5-game winning streak right now. The Steelers are on a 3-game winning streak. At home, the Bills are 7-2 on the season. Wow, it's pretty stout. They only lost 2 games in their home venue, which we're going. It is cold up there. Never, like I said, anything can happen. So I don't know. I know they released next year's opponents. The 2024 away games are going to be Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland, of course. Atlanta. We're going to be playing in Atlanta, Denver, Indy, Vegas, and Philadelphia. Hopefully, the guys don't go down there and get all tore up down there. Yeah, that's their away. That's their away schedule and a home schedule. I really don't change too often. The AFC North opponents, of course. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for stepping in and checking out my show. I know there's not many observers, which is okay. After finishing third in the AFC North this year, the Steelers will host the Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, New York Giants, and New York Jets. Of course, they'll also, like I said, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Browns at Heinz Field. I'm not calling it Acrisure Stadium. And kiss my bum, it ain't happening. It'll always be Heinz Field till I'm deceased. Crazy. But that was good. The Penguins won last night, which they needed after falling to Buffalo. I think it's that game being stuffed in the middle of there was stupid, but whatever. Um, I'm just hoping that going into Buffalo, that Josh Allen gets extra frisky with the turnovers. Like I said, the last 10 games, his turnover margins are horrible. 5 interceptions, 5 fumbles, and they lost 3 of them. So basically, he got 5 touchdowns and 8 turnovers. I like that. 10-point underdogs. That's okay with me. I'm perfectly fine with it. They seem to play their best ball when they're underdogs. So, Sidney Crosby at age, what is he, 36, back to the Penguins. I know I'm all over the place here, but that's what happens when you do a real podcast. I don't have nobody back there with a teleprompter. I had no scripts. This is unscripted. Stupid and ugly, but here I am. Damn, clam jam. Sidney Crosby's doing well. The defensemen are over there doing it up. Letang setting people up for shots. Malkin, that's crazy. I don't know. I really want to appreciate everybody verbally in the group. Everybody helps me out. You know, the admins, moderators, and members. I appreciate everything. I want to give a shout out to Jeff Reed and his Carolina Steel Sports Bar down by Charlotte, North Carolina. If you're down there, give him a shout. Stop in and see him. It's just a friendly shout out. He's not affiliated at all with the podcast. I also want to shout out Ken Reggett, former netminder for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He also has an establishment in Pennsylvania, Bridgeville, I think, up that way. It's the 31 Sports Bar. It's often featured in our group. So go on over there and find him and give him a shot. Join our group on Facebook, Pittsburgh Sports 365, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and whoever going to stop and bend down. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Click that little bell at the bottom down there so you don't ever miss. And you have a good week. I'll see you next Tuesday. And throughout the week, I will be releasing shorts. Thank you again. Woohoo! Go Steelers!